Telling you kids, don't come to Hollywood. I'm serious.
Your camera's there.
Here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue.
So broken. I love this. Please don't get well. You know, because the movie wasn't shooting for another year. So he asked me not to get well. That's how often this business is.
Jim Carrey's been dropping warnings for years about Diddy and his elite Hollywood crew, and guess what? Most of us were too busy to notice. From those eerie comments about the dark side of Hollywood to whispers about Diddy trying to drag him into one of his infamous parties, it's all starting to make sense. Remember when Jim Carrey let loose on the red carpet? We all just brushed it off like, oh, that's just Jim being weird again. But now, with Diddy's alleged wild parties, trafficking lawsuits, courtroom drama, and the FBI swarming his mansions, people are starting to ask, was Jim trying to warn us all along? And it gets even wilder. There's serious buzz that Jim Carrey might be a secret witness in the Diddy investigation. Yeah, you heard that right, the same FBI case that's got Diddy breaking a sweat in court. Word on the street is Jim's name might even be in those sealed files. So get ready. This ride's about to get crazy. You might want to grab some snacks and maybe even a Lucky Charm because we're diving into the deep end of the Jim Carrey-Diddy connection. Now, to really get what's going down, we gotta rewind for a sec, because this mess has been cooking for years.
In America are misinformed. Reality shows have warped our idea of what a hero is, or what the truth is. So tonight, I'd like to dedicate this award to those who remind us of our virtues, who remind us of the truth. So Charles Chaplin battled McCarthyism into exile, to Christopher Steele, who tried to pull a thorn out of the paw of an ungrateful beast, to Christine Blasey Ford, to Colin Kaepernick. He'll stand for the anthem when the anthem stands for him. And to one of my friends, my good friends, and one of the greatest artists of our time, Robert De Niro, whose life was threatened also this week, along with many other incredibly decent people who bring joy to the world.
For ages, there's been shady talk about the top-tier Hollywood circle, those ultra-exclusive invite-only parties where the big names supposedly get into some sketchy stuff. And guess who's right in the middle of it? None other than Diddy. Sure, he's known for his music and mogul moves, but he's also built a reputation for throwing the most secretive, wild parties that Hollywood's ever seen. For years, people have been wondering, why has Jim Carrey, the legendary and beloved but famously low-key actor, never been seen at any of Diddy's exclusive blowout parties? Well, guess what? We finally have some answers. In a handful of rare and cryptic interviews, Jim Carrey came out and directly tackled the speculation about why he was always MIA from Diddy's infamous freak-offs. And let me tell you, it wasn't because he was too busy shooting a sequel to The Mask. Nope. Jim got real. He spoke out about how he's always been suspicious of Hollywood's darker side, the hidden circles, as he called them, that work overtime to protect the powerful. According to Jim, skipping those parties wasn't about missing out on the fun. It was about keeping his hands clean, staying sharp, and steering clear of the black hole that seems to pull so many stars under. He even hinted at the disturbing things he'd heard go down at those parties. And let's just say they wouldn't be the kind of stories you'd read in a fancy magazine. The whole scene, creepy, dangerous, and the protection for those in the inner circle, tight as steel. Until now. Jim didn't name names, but his message was loud and clear. Diddy and his circle have been protected for years, and Jim wanted nothing to do with it. While the rest of Hollywood turned a blind eye or played the game, Jim Carrey stayed far away. And now that Diddy's legal drama is blowing up, it's looking like Jim saw the storm coming from miles away. Over the years, Jim's become almost like a prophet for those who've always felt there's something dark lurking beneath Hollywood's sparkly surface. He's been out there, calling out the industry's twisted obsession with fame, money, and illusion, calling it soulless, hollow, and even demonic. So, is it any surprise that Jim Carrey kept his distance from Diddy's notorious wild parties? Not one bit. Fans are now going back and looking at Carrey's strange comments with a whole new perspective. especially as lawsuits keep piling up against Diddy, bringing disturbing claims of coercion, trafficking, ironclad NDAs, and even whispers about ritualistic behavior. Suddenly, all of Jim's cryptic warnings don't seem so eccentric. They're starting to sound like straight-up truth bombs. Let's not forget his now legendary 2014 appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Jim stared right into the camera and basically called out Hollywood's secret society on national TV.
Is that a gang sign? Have you,
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
I have no idea.
You don't know. Jimmy Fallon doesn't know. David Letterman doesn't know.
We don't know.
All the comics and show business don't know what this is. Right? Yeah.
What is it?
Come on, Jimmy. Seriously, the time is up. People are hip to this kind of stuff. I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati, and you're a part of it, and it is the all-mocking tongue.
Oh.
People laughed it off at the time, but now it's starting to feel chillingly specific. Check out the comments people are leaving on that old video now. My dad was there. There was no laughter. It was added in later to cover it up. Thanks to Jim for risking it all to say this. Or, my sister was in the audience. She told us nobody laughed during that show. They added the laughs later. And even, this video's been redacted. Diddy's drama is gonna make this video legendary. People are now realizing that so much of this stuff was hidden in plain sight, but most of us refuse to see it. Now, here we are, with some people brave enough to still speak the truth, despite knowing they could be silenced in a heartbeat. Those people will always have my respect. One commenter even said, "Bless you, Jim. May God keep you safe."
Everybody to be in on the joke, man. You know what I mean? Like, for years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to throw you off the track, to distract you, to make you laugh and stuff like that, make you happy and docile so you don't know what's really going on. You know, when they get out there in the woods in a circle naked and they decide these things and, you know, and you know, look at him trying to cover it up. It's hilarious.
And for anyone who's never been to a show, they always add fake laughter in editing. No one was actually laughing that night. Now everyone's asking the same question. Was Jim really just being weird all along? Or was he trying to warn us? Or was Jim Carrey dropping a thinly veiled warning about what's really been happening inside Hollywood's inner sanctums? Fan theories are blowing up across social media. A lot of people now believe that Jim's infamous red carpet moment, when he declared Hollywood is not real, it's demonic, wasn't just some deep philosophical rant. They think it was a direct shot at the shadowy power players pulling strings behind the scenes. And now, with Diddy's name splashed all over multiple lawsuits and federal probes, those old clips of Jim are going viral for a reason. Between 2014 and 2017, Jim dropped several cryptic and pointed comments that didn't make much sense at the time. He called Hollywood soulless. He said celebrities were being possessed and manipulated by dark forces. Back then, everyone brushed it off, thinking Jim was just going through a spiritual or artistic phase. But now, fans are starting to connect the dots, and many are convinced Diddy's shadowy empire might be exactly what Jim was warning about. So here's the real million-dollar question. Was Jim Carrey trying to blow the whistle on the exact kind of twisted parties, power plays, and predators that are just now being dragged into the light? Or is this all just one big freaky coincidence? And let's be real, after Jim started speaking out about Hollywood's dark side, he pretty much vanished. No more blockbuster movie deals, no Ace Ventura comeback, no nothing. Just gone. If you've been paying attention to what happens when stars go off script in Hollywood, then you know Jim's sudden disappearance doesn't feel random at all. After calling Hollywood soulless, demonic, and hinting at disturbing stuff happening behind closed doors, his career hit a brick wall. He went from one of the most bankable comedians in the world to barely making an appearance on any screen. Sure, he's been painting and making the occasional public appearance. But the Jim Carrey we all knew, the superstar comedian, poof, like he never existed. Now, conspiracy theorists have been sounding the alarm for years, claiming Jim was silenced by the same powerful system that protects people like Diddy and shuts down anyone who dares to question it. And don't act like this is just some one-off thing. Look at the pattern. Kanye West speaks out about Hollywood control, canceled. Brendan Fraser talks about being abused, blacklisted for almost a decade. Jim Carrey calls out Hollywood as demonic and starts dropping cryptic truth bombs. Career gone in a flash. It's like clockwork. And let's not forget that deleted tweet from Elon Musk where he said something like, "Many celebrities are leaving the US because they know too much." What? Was he talking about Jim? Because let's be honest, Jim didn't just quietly step back from the spotlight. He straight up vanished. No press tours, no Netflix specials, no surprise late-night show appearances, just a few interviews and then radio silence. Some say he's holed up painting in a private studio, while others believe he's laying low for a reason. Jim even hinted at this in one of his last public interviews, saying, "I have enough. I've done enough. I am enough." But let's be real, that kind of quiet exit. It always seems to follow the same script. A star speaks out, gets quietly iced out, and suddenly the world starts calling them eccentric or retired. So was this really Jim's choice, or was it Hollywood's way of shutting him down before he could spill even more secrets? As Jim Carrey remains one of Hollywood's most mysterious and provocative figures, his refusal to stay silent about the industry's shady corners is becoming more and more intriguing. While most celebrities either play along or keep their mouths shut, Jim Carrey has made a name for himself as the guy who questions everything and says what everyone else is too scared to voice. For years, Carrey has been stepping away from the whole celebrity circus, diving deep into spirituality, art, and big-picture philosophy. But what's really coming back into focus now is his refusal to show up at Diddy's infamous parties and his brutally honest take on Hollywood's soulless culture. Now that Diddy's in the middle of a legal firestorm, Carrey's absence from those notorious freak-off events isn't going unnoticed. And with shocking new allegations hitting the headlines, it's all starting to make a lot more sense. And this is where it gets juicy. Rumors are flying all over Reddit threads, conspiracy forums, and TikTok, with people claiming that Jim Carrey's name might actually be listed in sealed court documents connected to the Diddy case. Some users are even saying the FBI might have reached out to Carrey for testimony, hinting he could be a key witness, because word is he knows way too much. Sound crazy? Let's connect the dots. Multiple ex-employees have accused Diddy of using NDAs and hardcore intimidation to keep people quiet. Cassie's lawsuit even claims that certain celebs were used as bait or suppliers for these secretive parties. And let's not forget, the FBI didn't just raid Diddy's homes for show. They're digging for something big. They were reportedly looking for evidence of trafficking, financial crimes, and coercion. So if Jim Carrey was ever invited to those wild parties and turned them down, he might not just be an outsider. He could be someone who knows what really went down behind those locked doors. Maybe he saw the red flags, heard the stories, and just kept his mouth shut, at least for now. Think about it. If Jim was ever pressured to join in and he flat out walked away, that would make him a dangerous person to certain people. Not because he was involved, but because he wasn't. And because he just might be ready to spill the beans. He's always been one step ahead of the game. Now, the real question is, will Jim Carrey finally come forward with more of what he knows? Or has he already been dropping hints in ways we just haven't picked up on yet? It's like he's been speaking in codes this whole time, and now we're just starting to connect the dots. What do you think? Is Jim holding back some serious truth? Or has he already been exposing the dark side of Hollywood in his own quiet way? Drop your theories in the comments below. I want to hear what you all think is really going on here. Could Jim's cryptic warnings finally be making sense now that Diddy's scandals are exploding? Or is this just the tip of the iceberg? Let's talk about it. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the jaw-dropping stories we've got coming your way. We're just getting started. See you in the next one.